You know what's not fun? Making mistakes. You know who makes mistakes? Everybody. So what do you do when you make a mistake? Well, in a film project, you can go reshoot it. This takes a lot of time and resources, so I didn't really want to do this. You can fix it in post. Nobody ever wants to hear we'll fix it in post as a VFX artist, but you know, sometimes it's what you can do. Or 3, you can just leave it be and try not to think about it, hope nobody notices it. Big thing is you own up to it, and no matter which one you choose, hopefully it will turn out the way you want. Now, I decided to fix it in post. Story is here, I shot this shot, and my sister was director on this, but it was my job to get the camera set up. So the top and bottom of this window here were way overexposed, so blown out there was no detail to recover and nothing I could do with color correction to fix it. Now, I was super unhappy with this. It looked super amateur to have just blown out white right there. We tried to put up a black backdrop behind the window, and for the most part that worked, but it was still really bright at the top and bottom. For some reason, it wasn't covering it. Now, what I chose to do was fix it in post. So the first thing I did was I took the shot into Photoshop as a still, where you could see the entire window, and I used generative fill to fix the bottom and top of the window. But that was just in the still. Now this was a shot with camera motion. I mean, it was an establishing shot, and it was really important that it looked good. So I took that still back into After Effects, and I was trying to track it in. I tried for 2 or 3 hours to get the shot tracked. I was using After Effects' 3D tracker. For some reason it couldn't get a handle on it. Neither could Warp Stabilizer. I was trying to smooth the motion out and then track it, and it just would not stick. Like, I could get it to stick most of the way and then hand keyframe it a little bit, and then we get terrible jitters and then it'd jump all over the place at the end. And it was driving me crazy. So I stepped away from it and I came back and I decided to try with Mocha. Now, what is Mocha? For those of you who don't know, it's a plugin that ships with Adobe After Effects, which is compositing software. And you can use it to do planar tracking and object tracking and rotoscoping and all those kinds of things. The first time I tried it, I was trying to just match up the top and bottom, and for some reason that didn't work. But when I came back and tried it again, I decided to go through slowly and just do all 4 corners of this window. Just replace the entire window. So what this ended up doing is working. So that was really cool. I did have to hand keyframe it a little bit, but it kind of smoothed out and you can't even see it. So I replaced the whole window. Now then I had to rotoscope out our actor to put on top of the window, which is another thing that made this kind of tricky with the tracking. But it definitely worked, and it just made the shot look so much better as a whole. Now, it's still pretty bright in some areas, like on the jacket, but I think it looked a whole lot better. Another ridiculous thing is that I messed up the camera move, and it was a little shaky. But after messing with all of the settings in Warp Stabilizer, I was able to get it working and looking smooth and looking nice, which is the way I wanted. Now, I'm going to show you the shot here. So after watching that, you're probably thinking, Max, that was a super short shot to spend all that time on. And I would agree with you, but it's an establishing shot. I wanted it to show the location and not look bad, and most of all, look better than the last time we tried to shoot this scene for a previous project. And I think I achieved all those things. So I was really glad when it turned out, and it was a huge learning experience. It was a lesson in working on something until it looks good. If you don't work on something until it looks good enough for you, every time you see it, you're gonna be like, I wish I had finished that. Now, if you want to see how this film project we're working on right now is going, you can click the link in the corner to get caught up, and I'll have a new installment of the behind the scenes soon. But I want to thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to watch this, and hopefully it was inspiring. It showed you a little insight on what it's like trying to make something you're really not qualified to make. But I'm trying my best, I'm putting in the time, and I'm trying to learn something above all. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.